Let me get another. I know what I was going to do. Check to see if we're live, Eric, if you wouldn't mind. Please, sir. Let's go here. Let's make sure here. Yeah, okay. Should be good there.
Yeah, we're live.
All right, good. Let's do this. Pop that out. That way we're good there. Do this. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing a little work while we get prepared for the show here. We're going to have a great show for you all today. Lots of news to go over. Obviously, the Video Game Awards happened. I'm a little miffed. I'm not gonna lie, Eric. I mean, Astrobot for Game of the Year. I mean, they're allowed to pick whoever they want, but there were so many worthy games.
Because it saves Sony. That's why they picked it.
Well, I'm guessing. Yeah.
But, considering everything else that came out this year, it's probably the only one that's actually deserving of it.
I don't think so. I think Baldur's Gate 3 deserved it. I think
that was last year, not this year.
Well, why? What? Hold on. Let me see the nominees. Hold on. I'll tell you what I thought. I thought Re Fantasio should have been considered.
It's not that good.
Really?
It's not a bad game, but it's just it's not Game of the Year material. It's not transformative. It's not enjoyed by a vast majority of people.
Well, that's where I disagree. A lot of indie games aren't enjoyed by a mass amount of people, but I think they should be considered for Game of the Year too.
But Astrobot isn't really an indie game.
No, I didn't say. See how you're putting words in my mouth, Eric? I didn't say that. I think there are other worthy entrants, and I think they should expand it at least twofold to include indie games as well. I think indie games should be considered.
But if it did, it'd probably be Belatro, and they probably won enough awards, so they didn't put it in there.
Well, I mean, true on that, but still, I think it was. Hold on, let me see. Game of the Year nominees.
If Baldur's Gate 3 was there, it's only because it came out so late, but I don't think it came out late enough for it to not be counted last year. Because
okay, so okay, you're right, but here's the nominees, and I thought, okay, so Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, which I thought it should have got a serious consideration.
No.
What do you mean, nah, Eric? Just based on personal opinion? Like, the game was great, and it came out of nowhere. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth should have definitely be considered. I don't care if it is part 2 of.
I would have picked either Rebirth or Astrobot, so I'm fine with either of them winning.
Yeah, I'm not okay with Astrobot winning, just for the reason you said. I don't even think necessarily.
You're just too much of an edgelord.
No, I just don't. I don't believe that. I think what you said was in play. I think they were just purely trying to, prop up Sony. No Nintendo games?
No, the game propped up Sony, so that's why they gave them their award.
Right.
Because it did something worthwhile.
Well, okay, but still, that's not a good reason. I thought Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree should have been. I would not have been upset if that would have been, even though it's a DLC. The DLC is every bit as big as
DLC shouldn't be getting awards for Game of the Year.
Why not?
There should be a category for DLC of the Year instead.
Well, okay, I guess you could make that argument, Eric, but that we don't have that, so why not? I mean, it's
because the problem with DLC
you're not listening.
Is you need the
you just
base
cut me
game
off
to play it. It doesn't
Eric,
stand on its own.
Eric, that game was every bit as big as the main game, and I didn't have any problems with it being nominated. And I would not have had you could have made an argument for any of these games over Astrobot. Any of them. I was like, that was the least game. That and Balatro. And if they would have given it to Balatro, I might have said that's okay too. But Astrobot? Are you fucking kidding me? That short-ass game got won Game of the Year? Come on. Come on, not even you, Eric, would think that's like an
I
okay
just
thing.
told you though.
I know, but I just you said you'd be okay with Final Fantasy VII so you wouldn't have been okay with Black Myth or Fantasio or Elden Ring winning.
Mm.
I would have been okay with any of those over Astrobot. What about like expanding it to have more nominees? I think that we can agree on, right? I think it was very shallow to not. I think something like
I can't even make my own game of the year. So I'm probably just gonna have a top something list.
yeah.
Just name off a bunch of games in my head that I really enjoyed over the year. Leave it at that.
Well, the way that we do it is we just pick a game of the year based on what we played, right? I mean, and it could be any year. I know what my game of the year is going to be already, and I'll talk about that game today on the show. If you're
But I
just
think that's the biggest reason why Game of the Year and Game Awards always ends up being seemingly the most popular game because most people played it or heard of it.
I think I got an issue with that, Eric. I mean, I was very disappointed.
Also,
Now,
it's like the only leftovers from Tokyo Studio that Sony still has.
yeah. Now, I will say I was mildly impressed with
Also, I don't think the game was developed with crunch, and it's not a big AAA project. So they made a lot of money off of a very small, or a much smaller budget compared to a AAA game.
Now, I will say that I was impressed with the amount of trailers that they had this year of upcoming games. That I'm okay with. Now, I wasn't super impressed with the quality. Like I thought it was cool that they are coming back with Onimusha. Okami getting a sequel is pretty badass.
No, the bigger news there is that Clover is basically back.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. There was one other. The Witcher 4. Pretty exciting there. So I mean, but that's another problem I have with these game awards. I think it's more.
That's why I call them game trailers or the Keeleys.
Yeah, the Keeleys. And that's another problem. You and I were texting back and forth, Eric. They got to get a different host other than Keeley. He's so bland, man. Like he's just. I mean, I know, like you said, he's the one that bankrolls this thing, and it's his pet project. But if you want to be legit, you got to have
one of his pet projects. The other one is this fake E3 thing he does in the summer.
Well, yeah, but this is bigger for him. I think they need a comedian to host it. You know what I mean? Somebody that can make you laugh and have fun, maybe at his expense and others. But you know,
that's what Statler and Werewolf was there for.
Yeah, which I thought fell flat, Eric. There were a couple times I thought that was kind of cool, but it yeah, they need a host, man, and Keeley's not it. I mean, he's got to hang it up, man. He's at some point, don't you think he has to hang it up and give someone else the reins? I mean, that chick that they hired for the pre-show would have been better than dude. You know,
that's just he being sexist.
No. How is that being sexist? Are you kidding? No, I want somebody other than Keeley in there, man. I mean, it's and they got to do. You know what they probably should do, Eric? They should probably do two separate things. Have the actual game awards, right, and then have the new game trailer section, like before or after. I don't know if they want to do it after. Probably after, so everybody watches your show. And then, have fun with that. But the way they do it is
the only way they do it the way they do is because they need time in between each of getting everybody ready. I almost think it's scripted.
It is scripted. But
they already know who the winners are, but they have to make a show of it.
Well, right. But what I think they should do, like what the Oscars do, man. I mean, the Oscars we give the Oscars shit, right? I don't really care for the Oscars all that much, but their show is pretty on point, dude. Like they have a like usually it's like Jimmy Kimmel or some comedian, in the hosting role. In the past, it was like I don't know, what's his face, funny dude. But I mean, they get somebody that can at least crack a few jokes in between time. Keeley is so fucking scripted and so bland and boring. Like, I mean, the guy might be a great dude. I did like the fact that they cracked a joke about him and Kojima being best friends and shit. how Keeley thinks they're best friends and Kojima's like whatever. It's like that was pretty fun. But I don't know. For me, for my money, I think they need to do something different with Keeley. And the only one that can do that is Keeley himself, because like you said, he bankrolls the whole fucking thing. So I don't know. Just wasn't a great thing. And you know what? If you want to be a legit award show, then start acting like an award show. Have a memoriam for people that plenty of people in the voice acting world have passed away this past year. Plenty of people have passed away. Oh, wait, let's see. Is Breakman there? Hold on. Let's see. Hey, Break. I didn't see you in Skype. Hold on. Let me try to get Break on here. We haven't started yet, Break, so we're good. Let's see. Let's add Break here. Where are you, Break? There you are. I haven't tried to add you, Break. Hold on. Let's add Breakman to the fold here. Why didn't it do it? Son of a bitch. Hang on, Break. I'll try to get you on again. Oy vey. Come on. Alright, let's add Break to the call here. Why is it not working, Break? Break, is your Skype updated, dude? Hold on. Try this again. Why? Why does it do this? Break, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, you're finally there. Okay, fucking Skype was acting up, dude. Whew, we haven't started yet, dude. Did you watch the Game Awards, Break?
What's that? No, I don't watch Game Awards.
Good man. Probably for good reason.
I've got better things to do, like
anything?
Take a shit or sleep or anything else.
Pick your nose,
Pick my nose. Yeah, that's a good one.
Wank, that's another good one.
Pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm gonna go with everything. Sounds more fun than watching the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's pretty painful, dude. I was just discussing with Eric how they could make it more like a legit award show and like do things like have like an in memoriam segment and shit that would make it pertinent to the industry instead of fawning over Sony and shitting all over Nintendo and
I don't remember them shitting over Nintendo. I don't remember Nintendo even being mentioned.
Exactly, Eric. Exactly. Well, one guy was even up there talking about.
There were ads that had Nintendo in that, but that was it.
One guy got up
and
there.
Some of the games that were nominated were Nintendo
Eric,
games.
hang on. One guy even got up there and couldn't even mention Nintendo's name. I think for fear of retribution. So.
Why? What would he say?
How the fuck do I know, Eric? He wouldn't even say Nintendo's name.
Oh, what was he talking about?
He was praising Nintendo, Eric. He was literally praising Nintendo.
What did he actually say is what I'm asking you.
He was saying that we were in Japan and one of the big inspiration, it was the guys from Astrobot when they won one of the awards. He said, we were there and we have to give homage to them. He couldn't even say their fucking name. Nintendo. So I think he was fearful from either Sony or Keeley that if he mentioned Nintendo's name, he would have got a reprimand. And it's like, come on, man. I mean, people take inspiration from different places. There are plenty of Sony games that people have taken inspiration from.
Or half of that, or he thought that it was very obviously what he was talking about, so you didn't have to mention it by name.
No,
Eric, come
the thing
on.
is, you guys don't know the Sony policy. It's 5 lashes for every time you mention Nintendo, and it's 10 lashes if you mention Microsoft.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's I wouldn't doubt that there's a clause in the contract break, you know. I mean, you can't even mention the competition. I mean, that's what's wrong with this country, man, is you can't even. I mean, if somebody has an innovative idea, if they're on the opposite, if they're a rival company, you can't even fucking mention it. That's a brilliant idea, you know. I mean, come on, the fuck out of here. What would they lose, you know? I don't know. All right, we got to get started. The show's RPGrinders. We're gonna get started with some exciting stuff, bunch of news, and
The last time this country worked together in innovation, stuff like that, was World War II.
yeah, that's true. You're
And look
100%.
how successful it was.
Yeah.
I'm doing another movie scenario, but this time it's Christmas themed for my driver's seat.
Okay, when we get there, Eric, let's get started with the show. Let me make sure our audio's working good. Here we go. Fuck, hold on. My mouse just decided to like not work properly. It's so badass. Okay, here we go.
Ass bad.
Hold on, here we go. And welcome everybody to RPGrinders episode 807. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Glad the week's over. It's been a weird week.
What about you, Break?
What do you mean weird week? How so?
Today was just odd because the machine I was working on just kept fucking up because all of the corrugation they were using, like at least half of it, if not a little over half, was wet because of they got water damage because of snow.
Yeah, I think what Eric is really referring to, Break, is instead of using the Western grip, he used the Eastern grip on opposite
No, I'm
day.
not talking about that at all.
And
my job involves corrugation.
I know, I'm just fucking with you, Eric. Calm down, sir. Sounds like you had a bad week, Eric. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Eric's not in the mood to fuck around right now.
Yeah, he's like joking. What's that? Stop fucking joking, assholes. You know, joking. Break, how was your week, dude?
We've been warned. It was alright, I guess. I'm mostly done with my Christmas shopping, except for the things I ordered a month ago, which haven't arrived yet. That's really annoying.
Yeah, that's always annoying when you order shit and it doesn't
Speaking of
come.
Christmas, I've got Break's gift to me here, and I'm gonna open it now.
I'm gonna refrain from saying anything until we get to a later section. While Eric is opening up awesome Christmas presents. Did you get us the same things, Break?
Similar.
Similar.
Not the same.
Okay, not all the same. Okay. I'm just gonna say right now.
So we got Batman wrapping paper,
which is fantastic to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are welcome for that.
And the old school Batman paper,
Yes,
man.
Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
and this is TechNeck hands-free device collar. You can selfie with your neck.
I like what I got. I got the Face Blaster, I think it was called or something. It was
That sounds like some porn device.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, good.
Actually, I'll get to mine later, Eric. But you, what else did you get? What's inside there, Eric?
Why did you have to say something? I was gonna help. I was gonna wait and let him figure out on his own.
Oh, it's inside a fake box. I get it.
By the way,
But
did you have
I
to
didn't bother opening it.
did you have to buy those boxes separately,
Oh yeah,
Break?
yeah.
You
I got
did.
them on clearance though, like 2 years ago.
I liked mine. It said you had to put kerosene. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, Break,
The
man.
Oregon Trail ornament and a Sega Genesis ornament. Thanks.
Oregon Trail and Sega Genesis, those are awesome. Mine were pretty
It's
badass.
the Apple IIe version of Oregon Trail.
That's really cool.
And those are both musical instruments.
Yes. I'm going to reveal what I got later on in the show, but without further ado, let's get to the news because we got tons of it.
Yeah,
I want to
don't
get.
think they come with batteries, but
Mine came with batteries, so I was very lucky. I was like, sweet, awesomeness. All right.
So it plays right out of the box then. Awesome.
Well, no, you got to put the batteries in
the
it.
The box you sent me it looks like something somebody whipped up in MS Paint, and then they were at a printing plant like mine, and they just made a box out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll explain mine later, because we'll talk about it later. But let's go on with the news. Let's get the news out of the way so we can discuss fun stuff because I need it.
News.
I had
the news, of course.
Yeah, I had a shitty week, and I need this show to get me back on track. Let's say.
All right, I can do that. Let's do this. News. Woo!
I will say this though. This thing better say someone died of dysentery. When I click it.
Let's get to the news. Eric, first story, please.
First story is Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake has passed 2 million sales.
That's awesome. Yay. And I have not bought it yet, so I will be adding to that at some point when I get some sort of money.
I bought it twice.
You bought it twice?
I bought it on the Xbox and I bought the Switch version.
Oh, well, I will be buying it purely on the PlayStation version, I think.
I'll probably be getting the PlayStation and Steam versions at some point.
Yeah. Well,
I thought I wanted that game, but damn, you're outdoing me, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting this at some point, but that's very good.
Yes, I'm excited for this one.
2 million shipped and downloaded. That's pretty badass. I'm happy. You guys know I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan. I've always has been, and can't wait to get into this game eventually.
Is that physical release or is that all downloaded?
It's shipped and downloaded, both.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's probably when it's all said and done, probably going to be about double that, maybe even more. Nice. They go on sale. They sell a bunch, so it's gonna at least be 4 million. I'm guessing by the end of the year.
We just have to hope that Sony wasn't hoping for like 7 million or something stupid like that.
But Sony published this, so they don't care.
I mean, I didn't mean Sony. I meant Square. Sorry.
Yeah, Square. Square always has too lofty expectations.
Well, Square's expectations for Dragon Quest have been pretty reasonable.
Well, that's good. All right, break next story.
Nothing else is.
I know.
Anyway, coming to us live from RPGnet. For the King 2 launches on December 12th. Well, that was yesterday for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Game Pass.
Yep.
So I can play it because I get Game Pass. I haven't tried it yet. I've been busy playing something else all week. This game's already available, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really new on here.
No, but tactical RPG break, so this is right up your alley, dude. Looks
I know, but I'm preoccupied right now.
We'll talk about it, I'm sure.
Might get to it at one point.
Right. Okay. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Indie action RPG Robots at Midnight launches January 29th, 2025. And a big ad
that sounds like an 80s band.
It does. Robots at Midnight. Like you can imagine like synth shit going on and stuff,
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you, Break.
All the Daft Punk music you could want.
Yeah, all the well, that wasn't exactly 80s, but yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but they've got an 80s and 70s aesthetic. So.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, that's the story. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is a game called Rechoice, and it's a time loop adventure RPG. And it's announced for PC. And There's going to be a Mac OS release for this as
Wow.
well. And it's inspired by Detroit Become Human and the Persona series, according to Gematsu.
Yeah.
And that's all we got on it, other than it will feature more choices after each playthrough, so there's a purpose of doing a replay.
Okay, very cool. Let's see. Why did either of you send a message to me?
No.
Okay, that was weird. Skype just decided to
Mm.
randomly bounce in my dock. That was weird.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that, Eric?
No, but the time loop takes place over 10 days.
Yeah.
And you have to look for an idol.
There wasn't exactly a lot of info in the trailer either. No, hardly any gameplay or anything. So we'll have to wait and see on this game. All right, Breakman.
And it looks like there might be stealth elements because someone's sneaking around in an office.
Yeah, I'm not the
game where you're trying to find the next American Idol. I'm out.
Not American Idol, an idol, as in like a Japanese idol.
My bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with stealth. As when I played, oddly, you know what game kind of made me like stealth a little bit better was fucking Wolfenstein, because I was a stealth master in that fucking game, man. Yeah, how dare you guys? All right.
It's Wolfenstein, by the way.
Whatever, Eric. It's like, you know, we get on break for mispronouncing Japanese names, and you get on me for like not trying and shit. But try rolling your R's, Eric. I would never expect you to. You know what I mean? Like that's why, like the way that break says Japanese names is okay. The way that I say them, the way that you say them, the way that a Japanese person says them, like it like you can't expect somebody without that tongue to.
I think they'd understand that I'm not trying to butcher their name.
Exactly, and nobody's. I don't get mad when people can't pronounce my name. You know, it just it is what it is. You know,
it's not like we're trying to misgender somebody intentionally. We're trying to get it right.
They're Gen Xers. They're going to do that.
Stop it! All right, break. Next story, please.
I have feelings.
I know.
And coming to us live from RPG site. Chained Echoes Ashes of Elrond DLC releases Q2 2025. Q2 I think is what that's April through June.
Yeah.
Deck 13 and Matthias Linda's newly formed studio Umami Tiger. Is it Umami? Umami Tiger. I have announced Chained Echoes first DLC in the form of Chained Echoes, Ashes of Elrond. I don't even know.
Ashes of Elrond Hubbard?
Get tiger umami. I don't think that's a meat that's like lends itself well to eating.
I think they're trying to be cool with the name or whatever. They think it sounded cool. That's what I think. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC bringing in new playable character, the White Wolf. Oof. The White Wolf. Oof.
How dare you, Breakman?
Over 40 new monsters and bosses, 15 new tracks with Eddie Maria Nucro.
Maria Nucro.
Wow. Maria Nucro. Wow, not even close. Awesome. Just right there. Not even close.
Brilliant, brilliant break.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Takes the players Ashes of Elrond takes players to a new land away from Valandis. You know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
That's all right. We don't have a lot of time anyways. Let's move on.
Valandis, yeah.
Yeah, it's set right before the final fight of Chained Echoes, so you can prepare yourself for meeting your beloved heroes once again. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. Next story comes to us from RPG.net as well.
I just hope it's still on Game Pass by the time the DLC comes out. That means I'll probably have to buy it, the DLC, without buying the game. But oh well.
Yeah, I need to get the DLC for Dungeons 4.
Yeah. All right. Poker Battle RPG All in Abyss. So I guess they're taking a cue from Balatro, I guess. Just adding RPG elements. Judge the Fake releases on April 9th, 2025 for PS5, Switch, and PC. Let me take a quick look at the trailer. The cards. So, yeah. I mean, it's a RPG poker game. Are you guys down for that? I think I might be down for that. I
want to know more.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. I mean, that's what it is.
Also, the fact that it's called Judge the Fake means that maybe there's like some murder mystery stuff also going on.
I mean, if you get to level 99, do you like always get royal flushes? Like, what happens?
I mean, are certain royal
flush...
flush...
I know in Balatro, like, it uses a mix of card rules, but you can also like attack your opponent's deck and make them lose the use of their cards.
I want a game where you can attack the other player. Like they throw a card out. Ha! 21. Fuck you.
I want a game where you can attack the other person's personal bank account. That's what I want. Yeah. As you're playing them poker, your avatar's robbing them blind. Yeah, right. That's what I want, Break. Something where like a bait and switch type of thing. Let's play this game and.
Oh, you beat me, darn.
Yeah, darn it. You got a straight flush, darn it. Meanwhile, my bank account is just like raking in the dough, every player,
Yep.
Like,
oh, man, I can't believe this. Oh, this bad luck. Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to go home now.
Did I just do this story, or was that, yeah, it was me, I believe. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Because apparently someone asked for it, but Clodoon is getting a third game. And it's coming to Switch and PlayStation platforms in Japan with a full release date on February 27th. And who knows if it'll be localized, but it probably will because the other ones have been.
Yeah, it must have made enough money, Eric, so,
What is this for?
More power to them. The Switch.
Switch, PC, and... No, Switch and PS4 and PS5. But I'm sure they'll be ported to Steam at some point.
Oh. Cladden, huh? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's short for Classic Dungeon.
Oh, wow.
And the original game was a PSP game.
Oh, well, then I like it again. I have better feelings about it now.
I played it. It's really boring.
I hate it again.
If Eric says it's boring, then, you gotta trust. Gotta trust it. I mean, Eric plays everything, so...
There's Clodoon 2, and then there's Clodoon Returns, which was basically a Japanese Sengoku period themed version. And there was Legacista, which tried to rebrand the entire series by calling itself something else.
I think they should just rebrand it generic dungeon RPG because that's what it looks like.
It does. It's like a very generic RPG, but whatever. All right, let's see.
I think some of the appeal was that you could make some of your own dungeons, but that was it.
Yeah. So, you did this story, Break? Or did...
Eric did. It's my
turn. Your turn.
Come to us live from RPG site. Dreams Uncorporated fully reveals Prisma, a new upcoming RPG. While the game was revealed earlier this year, Prisma from Dreams Uncorporated, I like the name, has finally been fully revealed alongside gameplay footage and further details about the game. So I guess I'm about to tell you those details. Players take control of the main protagonist, Alma, but specifically several different versions of Alma from different universes, each with unique prism shard and different view of the world, and find themselves in, I'm hoping Alma from Fear series.
Oh, I was just about ready to say that.
Nice. Some Almas are friendly, while others are simply NPCs or even your enemies. Alma from Fear. The player must decide which path to take as their own Alma as they craft bonds and unlock different ways back home. That sounds interesting. An interesting way to use the multiverse, I guess.
Yep.
Although I've come to realize, no, I shouldn't say come to realize. Multiverse is usually just
BS.
There's so much lazy writing in multiverse stories a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, that goes in general. There's just a lot of lazy writing in video games, period. I mean...
Yeah, it's just... you have to suspend...
Well, it's either lazy writing or them writing themselves into a corner and then making a bullshit way for them to get out of it.
Do you know what I think it is, gentlemen? I think the reason that writing isn't the greatest in video games is because if you think about it, a movie is an hour and a half, right? Which is really involved, right? I'm not saying the writing process isn't intense, and then you move on to series, which have multiple years to come up with a whole team of writers, and then you got a video game, which is what, especially in the case of an RPG, 40 hours probably minimum for an
I think
RPG.
it has more to do with the fact that lots of people hate reading and like playing instead.
Well,
and
you
their
would
idea of playing is direct control.
well you would think that I could finish my thought, Eric, before you chimed in. But what I was gonna say is I think that not only what you're saying is true too, Eric, but I think when you have to write so much material for a video game, which is literally hours and hours and hours and hours of writing in some cases, like it for a small team or one person or a couple people to write, it becomes a Herculean task. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. All right, that was you, Break. So let me go on with the next story. Antoria, the last song releases December 12th for the Xbox.
And Natria.
Natria, okay. I totally fucked that one up. A la Breakman, but that's okay. Natria. There's no bunch of bullet points here, but basically it's looks like just an actioner.
It's a Souls game.
Yeah.
But it's one of the better ones, apparently, from what I've seen from people who are in just, at least Vati Vidya seems to really enjoy the game. But yeah, it only just recently came out the Xbox for weird reasons. It was delayed.
Okay, well there you go. All right, Eric, next story.
Class of Heroes 3 remaster is happening. I'm glad because we haven't got this or 4 yet, and someone's doing it. So P-Cube's picked up the mantle. And I hear it's a lot better than those other two games.
Yeah,
and it was originally a PSP game.
I think I remember playing Class of Heroes 1 and not liking it all that much. Right.
Yeah, I heard the series progressively gets better with each entry, so 2 is a little bit better game than 1 was.
Oh, P-Cube is the publisher and acquired the developer? Okay. Yeah, kind of explains a lot.
Well, along with Zero Div, but...
Yeah. All right, Eric, next. Did you do this one or did I? God damn it, I can't remember the fucking order. I think I did this. I
just did the Class of Heroes.
Okay.
So
Breakman. Break, your turn.
Wait, is it my turn now? I'm so confused.
Your turn.
I'm doing the Solsta RPG story?
Yes.
Okay,
Solasta.
Solasta?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Solasta 2 from Tactical Adventure will launch into Steam Early Access in 2025. Demo coming early next year. That's pretty vague. Early next year could mean anything. I mean, January to March, usually. 3 playable demo for Solasta 2 is due early next year. Why am I repeating myself here? Highlight features of this sequel include complete party management and customization, 1 to 4 player online co-op, and Unreal Engine 5 powered visuals, and a controller experience on par with keyboard and mouse. Ooh.
So it's a tactical RPG that's probably meant to be played on PCs, but they made it work on consoles.
Well, the gameplay doesn't look
with controllers at least, because it's a PC only so far.
Yeah, I guess it is a tactics game. Weird. When I first saw this trailer, I was like, I actually was kind of like, this looks kind of good, but now I'm kind of like,
it was a cinematic. How did it look good to you?
It had gameplay in there, and also it was rendered in the game's engine, Eric. So, there you go. Skodama's in chat. He says it's our anniversary. Thank you so much, Skodama. I wouldn't even remember if I hadn't got the notification. By the way, you need to get down on some Marvel Rivals tubes. I guess he is calling us. I don't know what that means, Skodama.
Well, from what I could tell, it's probably a better experience than Overwatch is. So
yeah. People are really
any of those other hero shooters.
Yeah, people are really high on Marvel Rivals. I don't know. Maybe I need to jump on that, Skodama. I don't know.
What's Marvel Rivals on?
I think everything.
It's a free to play game, so you gotta watch out for the freemium nonsense. So.
Yeah, the freemium bullshit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually okay with it on consoles because on consoles it's usually not a requirement to beat the game, but on phones it seems like so many of those free to play games require you to buy something to be able to just get past a certain stage.
Yeah. It's way better than Overwatch, he says. Well, very cool. Let's go to
I played one the other few weeks ago where the second stage required you to buy something to beat it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
yeah, that's when you're out. You know, it's
That's
like
not free to play. That's fuck you to play. Essentially, just charge us the whole money for the game. Just like if you're
I
gonna
think
do
the
that.
funniest thing about Marvel Rivals is they made Wolverine an absolute unit.
yeah. I think
He's
what's
so fucking huge in that game.
I think what's funny, Breakman, is those freemium games rake in almost as much money as regular games. You know, it's like fucking crazy. Like people go. I mean, if you have the right game that has the right hook, people
or release it at the right time.
Yeah, people cannot get enough of it. It's fucking weird. I don't like most of those games go away like within a year or two. But man, if you got the right one, you could make a shit. Like I'll give you an example. Like Kim Kardashian came out with this game that was all about like paparazzi and what you were wearing on the red carpet and shit. And that game made her fucking tens of millions of dollars, man. Literally, like it's fucking crazy, man. Scotum's likes Hawkeye the best. All right, let's see. It's my turn next, I believe. You did that story, right, Break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Witcher 4 gets... See, we were just talking about Witcher 4 gets a reveal trailer, and I can tell you guys the trailer looked awesome, but it was just a cinematic trailer. I don't put much stock into these things other than... I mean, if it wasn't Witcher, I think I would be like, this is a non-story, but the fact that they're even coming out with the cinematic...
Witcher, but hopefully less janky gameplay.
They improved quite a bit, Eric, with the updates on Witcher 3.
It still is janky, though.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
It doesn't matter how much they improved it. It still got jank.
Not a lot of jank with that game, Eric. It's a pretty awesome game. Did you play through it, Eric?
Well, they've got their Cyberpunk money and they've got their Witcher 3 money, so they probably got a much bigger budget this time.
Well, of course. I mean, Witcher 3 is a highly successful game, even though it was jank at the beginning. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's actually getting way better from what I hear, too. So, I mean, this company has you just have to realize, like, buy this game later, because when it first comes out, it's going to be jank. I mean... I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. When you have that
game development cycle now.
Yeah, when you have that kind of reputation of putting out like an unfinished game at the beginning, I mean, people aren't going to buy it at the beginning, or they are, and they're just going to bitch about it, So there you go. Skoma says, "Yeah, I'm not buying the overpriced skins." Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Or at least give you some hint of the gameplay. I was saying that earlier this week, Borderlands 4 released their trailer, and there was a lot of cinematic video, but they also showed gameplay video in a teaser trailer. Why is it so hard for them to show gameplay footage?
I mean, obviously they have some of this game that they can display, right? Even if
I think the one thing that would probably help any of the Borderlands games is just cutting the fat of the overworld experience. It's mostly boring.
If you're playing it by yourself a lot of the time, it can get boring.
I remember when Eric and I...
more set pieces in those games.
When Eric and I played through Borderlands 1, I agreed with Eric. Like, we both came to the same conclusion. Like, it's a fun game when you do something, but in order to get to do something, it's tedious, and it's like, there's the overworld needs reworking.
I heard like Tiny Tina's Wonderland does a better job of that. So maybe if they take the lessons they learned from that game before.
Yeah. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to PC on Steam and Epic Game Store. And that'll be January 23rd.
Yeah.
Too late for Christmas.
Yeah, way too late.
Well, you can always pre-order it.
That's true.
Like via gifting. I don't know if that will work though.
And they've got all kinds of versions. They have.
You can always buy somebody's Steam gift card though, and then tell them to buy it with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of versions of it. One where they package in the remake, and you know they're going to do this with the third one too. They're going to charge you a big premium to get all
triple pack.
Yeah, the triple pack.
I'll just wait till the triple pack's out and it's on sale.
Yeah.
Before I think about rebuying it again. Plus, I need a PC to play this. So.
Yeah. Scotoma says free part of Marvel Rivals is pretty great. So I'll have to check it out at some point, Scotoma. I've been busy with a lot of shit, man, and shit that I can't really talk about. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Rebirth. I almost bought it, but I didn't have any money to buy it, so I was like, why put myself in debt for something that I'm not going to play for a little while? So, you know, I didn't buy it. And I regret it because it was down to $35, you know, but whatever. All right, Eric, next story.
Elden Ring and Night Rain is a standalone co-op action survival game releasing in 2025 for consoles and PC. And this game actually sounds interesting. I was watching the From Software video on it, and it looks like they're bringing in bosses from other Souls games, like specifically Dark Souls. And it's got a lot of Sekiro elements in regards to movement and certain combat things like the parries. So it's going to be more action focused.
It's funny because when this trailer first came out, I didn't know anything about what it was going to be, and I was like, well, this kind of looks like Sekiro. It's got, you know, and then...
Well, there was an article that somebody put out. They played basically a playable beta or something, and they talked about what their experience was like.
Yeah. I mean, it does look interesting, but, you know.
But, like, I just found it amazing that From Software is actually looking at the Souls community, especially the modding community, and seeing what they're doing and be like, hey, why don't we just do it ourselves? Because it's got, like, it sounds like it's going to also be like procedurally generated environments, like, where you'll go into an instance dungeon, so kind of like a roguelike, but co-op play, which is also a mod for Elden Ring, by the way. So they have been paying attention to the modding community. You
know what it looks like to me? It looks like a kind of a version of Monster Hunter, Eric, like a small...
Oh, I mean, I could sort of see that, but it's only between like 3 hunters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like a small-scale Monster Hunter game, you know? I mean, that's what it kind of looks like to me. But set in the world of Elden Ring, I think that's a win-win for everybody.
You're specifically just hunting monsters. You've probably got specific missions in this game.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the gameplay. I'm just saying from what they showed us, to me, that's what it looked like. That's not a slight on it, Eric, in any shape, form, or fashion.
We can go off this game, Frank.
Yeah. See, but people don't like playing with me because I suck so bad at games, Eric.
I hope there is like a single-player option for those who can't find people to play with, though.
Yeah, maybe
like either have 2 AI partners with you, or maybe you could just do it yourself if you want.
Most AI partners in games are shit.
Yeah, because like the Souls phantoms, the NPC phantoms, you could tell me, are usually pretty dumb. So like they'd have to make them smart now.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that new Google chip that came out. I think that's gonna be kind of a game changer with shit like that, because it's like, it like powers AI. So, I mean, and the reason it's interesting is because anytime you have a chipset, there are errors in electronics, and different things, and the same thing with programming and all that stuff. But this limits the errors. So, on one hand, it's very you guys got to check it out. It's like it's like a quantum chip, and it can do things like, I mean, it's crazy. It's like you could take all the supercomputers in the world and try to have it solve a problem, and if it was a major problem, it would take a quintillion years or whatever they said.
They're saying this chip, if it runs into a problem, it actively fixes itself to remove the problem.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much the case, Eric. I mean, it's basically in one regard it's really scary because deconstruct passwords, which is not a good thing. But I think there's enough fail safes in it that it they fixed it to where it doesn't do that. But then again, you have nefarious people out there that are going to use it for nefarious things. But we'll see how it shakes out. But yeah, check it out. It's I think they call it Willow. That's their name for their chip. But it's an AI. It's basically a quantum AI chip, and that things like that are going to make AI probably more closer to not a hellscape like what I always profess against, but
it sounds more like what AI was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it became the buzzword that corporations latched onto as an excuse to not hire people.
Right. You're right, Eric. I think it's more akin to that than anything. But Scotoma says Terminator. Yeah, I hope not. Scotoma. I mean, nobody hopes that. Like, especially me. I told you guys I don't have any fears, except for AI going rogue like a Terminator type scenario. That's to me one of the most horror movies of all time is Ex Machina, just for its end. The end chilled me to my bones, man. I just can't explain it. It wasn't horror in a traditional sense, but the implications are crazy. Yes, they made a quantum leap, Breakman. Exactly.
Sort of like how I feel about Requiem of a Dream.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like, not a horror movie, but I was so horrified after the movie ended. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, the ending of the ending of Ex Machina, if you guys have ever seen it, is, like, to me, terrifying. Like, the implications were... There's been two movies that have done that to me with the ending. One was Ex Machina, and oddly enough, another horror comedy movie called Uncle Peckerhead. The whole movie... I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but that movie, it's really fun, right? It's kind of a lighthearted movie all throughout, even though this zombie is, like, fucking ripping people apart, and I don't know if he's a demon or a zombie or a combination or what, but the end of this movie is so fucking, like, holy shit. It took the whole movie and put it on its head, man. There's very few movies like that. It's a great movie. I highly recommend people watch that movie, but whatever. All right, who did this story? I think did I do this story? Who did this story?
I did the Elden Ring story.
Ready to do this.
All right, break.
Come to us live from RPG Site. The first Berserker, Kazan, releases on March 27th, 2025.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for this. Not much in the way of gameplay from what I remember.
This is one of the two games based on the Dungeon Fighter series of games.
Yeah.
And they're standalone entries that don't have any of the freemium nonsense in them.
Yeah. The what you call it, the cinematic trailer is fantastic, but all cinematic trailers usually are really, really good. I don't really care for trailers like that. It's not even worth talking about, really. But I mean, cool.
Well, they had gameplay with the initial reveal about a year ago. So, well, I don't know why they didn't bother this time.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy because I didn't see the gameplay. I mean, the cinematic was fine. I mean, I do enjoy cinematics, but like Breakman said earlier, I mean, show us a little bit of gameplay at least, man. With the cinematic,
Yeah, it's fine if you show us mostly video of, like, your cutscenes that you're so proud of. It's fine, but you gotta sprinkle in some gameplay. We gotta see what's going on. We're not there to watch the video. We're there to play.
You know what's even more egregious, Breakman, is a lot of these companies do cinematics that have nothing to do with the game. So you're playing the game and you're expecting to see the cinematic that you remember seeing because it was badass, and it never comes to be. It's like, come on, man. That's even worse. It's more egregious. But very cool cinematic, but, I don't know. Whatever.
There's that point more ad deluxe edition
concept.
Yeah.
The deluxe is digital only, but it comes with extra armor sets, a digital art book, and a soundtrack, and 72-hour early access.
The early access thing is problematic. We'll have to have a discussion on that at some point.
Yeah, Atlas did that with Metaphor ReFantasio and Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah. I think that's
like,
part of
a few extra days early, but the game might be missing features that won't be present until a day one patch launches on the launch date. Yeah, good look, nice glowing geniuses. Starfield did that shit.
Yeah.
Where aspects of the game just wouldn't fucking work because they didn't program it incorrectly, and they need to make a day one patch.
Yeah. All right, another dungeon and fighter game coming to us from RPGsite.net. Open world action RPG Arad, showcased for PC console in a new trailer. So
it has to be an acronym.
Yeah, I don't know what the acronym is for, but I saw this trailer, and again, no gameplay, all cinematic. I mean, it wasn't cinematic; it was in-game shit, but like no real battles. I don't know. I want to see the fucking game, man. Come on. I mean, it's not hard, companies. A little bit of gameplay. So anytime that these companies...
it's like they're so goddamn proud of their cutscenes that they just want to shove them down our throats.
Yeah, cutscenes
well, if I knew any better, it's probably has gameplay similar to Wuthering Waves.
Early access to the bugs and glitches, Skodoma. 100% Skodoma. Like I never understood.
I think another game that did early access was... No, the game I was actually thinking of was... Kill the Justice League, the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah. Which turned out to not be great, by the way. But
and there was a glitch that like just made you automatically beat the game.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the news. Thankfully, let's move on to
Inquiring minds want to know.
What you been playing, Breakman?
I've only been playing one game all week long.
Civ?
What's that?
Civ? Age of Mythology? What?
No.
Oh, okay.
Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. How's that going for you?
It's a game for addiction. It's not a game. There's so much stuff to unlock and so many hidden secrets and stuff. It's just it's a one more game type scenario. It's just like I know what to do this time. Just one more time. Do it. Okay. I got that unlocked. Oh, well, now there's this other thing I can unlock. Just one more game.
That's how they get you, Breakman. They suck you in.
Just one more game.
Just one more game.
Vampire. Haha.
Yep. Just
like
one
I
more.
thought I was almost done unlocking characters, and I found out there's a ton of secret characters. Like, oh, okay, this isn't even DLC yet. This is still just the standard game. Okay, cool. All right.
Are you gonna buy the DLC for it, Break?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as it's sticking on Game Pass, I probably will, because I'm having a lot of fun with it. And
the DLC all by itself is like $5. The base game is $5, so that's not much.
Not much, man. I mean, that's a good investment if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and I like the Castlevania one, especially. Like, I'm looking forward to that one, since this whole game completely rips off Castlevania to begin with.
Right.
You kind of find the one that is actually Castlevania. I do want to play the Contra one too. That looked really fun too.
Yeah.
So,
Scoma says he's been playing.
Now I'm just playing the standard.
Yeah. Scoma says he's been playing Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, and 7 Ways to Die.
Days to Die.
Oh, 7 ways. Wait, what am I saying? 7 Days to Die. Right. Okay. Well, very good, Scoma.
7 Ways to Die sounds like a fun mini game, I guess.
I think that's
It's like 700 Ways to Die. That'd be more entertaining.
Yeah, 7 Days to Die is I think like horror, like one of those where you run around away from like a killer and shit. Yeah, I think that's what that is. I don't know. I could be wrong. Anything else you've been? Oh, you said that's all you've been playing. It's been eating up your time. All right, Eric, what you been playing, man?
Just Visions of Mana, and I play a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Impressed, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Beat Nazis over the head with hammers and whatever you could find, basically.
Yeah, I always like that.
Or Italian fascists, because you have to deal with them before you go off to deal with the Nazis.
He says it's a zombie survival crafting game, Skodoma says. Okay, very good.
Killing Nazis never gets old.
It never does, man. Beating up and killing Nazis never gets old. In video games, that is. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, video games.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Video game. Yeah, video games.
Right. Yeah, video games. Yeah. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and Well, let's just get right into it.
RPGrinders reviews.
Break, did you have any reviews before I review?
I guess I could do like a quick review because we kind of talked about it and I changed my score as I was reviewing it. So
Yes.
I went back and watched it as a whole thing to see just kind of how I felt about it. And that's the Crisis on Multiple Earths trilogy.
Yes.
And I'm gonna stick with the same score, even though I think my review kind of my opinion of it is really harsher now, the way I look at it a lot of ways. But the first episode was really good.
Yeah.
The Flash-based episode was really good.
You mean the
Like that
first?
episode was an 8 or 8.5, and then the second one was not as good. It was okay, not bad. And then the third one was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like, but the third one,
yeah.
like it just. Well, I mean, it's a spoiler alert already. Kara dies. Like that's. If you read the comic, it's basically the same story as the comic.
Yeah, if you've seen the cover of the third one.
Yeah, and if you see the cover, they reveal she dies right away. Like, spoiler. But they abuse her for 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like, put her through the worst circumstances ever. Just treat her like total garbage. And then they sacrifice her meaninglessly.
I kind of remember that's how it was in the comics, if I don't...
Like, what they did to Supergirl is totally insulting.
Yeah,
Like, it was just like, god damn. They really just fucked her over left and right.
What was your final score for the trilogy, Break?
I think I said 7.
Yeah, I think mine would be 6, and I think that's being a little too giving.
I'm thinking I want to go down a little bit. I want to go down 6.5 to 6 because of how they treated the Supergirl. The more I think about it.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I didn't think it was well put together at all. I thought
it started out so strong.
That's what I was gonna say. I agree with you. I think it started out strong, and it just fucking whimpered, man. Like it was. I don't know. It could have been so much better. I remember the comics being like really fucking great, but maybe I have to revisit those comics and read them again. But from what I remember, the comics were just great.
I mean, from what I remember about the comics, it was pretty accurate to the story.
Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I don't think it translated very well to screen, Break. And sometimes that happens. Like I remember, what was it? Killing Joke did not I remember that.
I get the point of the comic, but when they made it into a film, it just felt really exploitative.
Yeah. See, in the comic, you were
probably because animation, things take longer, so by virtue of it being a comic, you could just get through it quicker.
Yeah. All right, Eric, I don't see you had any reviews. You do have a couple of reviews up on the feed from, I believe, last week, Eric, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was last week. I didn't do anything this week.
I know,
but I'm gonna get a video or 2 up tomorrow, or not video, audio review.
All right. Remember last week?
That'll probably be either Dragon Quest III 2D HD 2D remake and or Breath of Death 7. Probably just both, but I don't know if I'll split that between Sunday and Saturday or what.
All right. Very good. Be on the lookout for that. I'm excited for your Dragon Quest take, man. I have yet to play the game because I just am...
And then the following week, I'll finally give a review for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and Visions of Mana, because I'll be done with that game by then.
Okay. Last week I talked about a series called Pantheon, which Netflix... Breakman, I think we've talked about this before. Netflix is the new Fox. They don't give any series any leeway to do fucking anything, man. And I think it was a huge mistake on their part with this series. Pantheon, after 1 season, they just basically canceled it. And it got picked up, I believe, by Hulu for season 2 or somewhere else. But it sucks because I don't have whatever platform they decided to put season 2 on. And Pantheon season 1 is pretty fucking amazing.
Kind of the same situation with Star Trek Lower Decks. It doesn't need to be canceled.
Yeah, I just to me this series had a lot of life. It starred Aaron Eckhart, who played Harvey Dent, I believe, in one of the Batman movies.
Yeah, Dark
Um,
Knight.
yeah, Dark Knight, and a couple other big names, but that was the big name. But I mean, the quality of voice acting was pretty great. Animation really sucked. That's where it lacked big time. I think the budget went to the voice acting and not to the actual animation. I mean, this animation was pretty bad. I mean, you could see like like in anime, like the lines are clean and clear, even if it's in a um, lower resolution. Like you really get a sense of the artwork, and in this, like even at I believe I was watching it in 4K if I'm not mistaken. Like when you looked at the characters' faces, like the lines were like it looked like tiled lines, like pixelated, and I'm like, this is no bueno, So animation wise, it was nothing to write home about, but the writing was excellent. The voice acting, like I said, was really good. It's basically a story about uploading brains to like a matrix type thing, and the implications of that, and you can tell like there's a lot there, right? I mean, this is not nothing that hasn't been explored in movies before, but with a series like this, you can take more chances, and I think they took a few more chances in this that worked, and I really wish Netflix would have given a bigger budget and I don't know, maybe given the Castlevania studio the license to make this, because I think it's worthy of exploring further. I'm glad there's going to be a season 2, or if not already a season 2, and I'll have to search that
Oh,
out.
the studio that did this show did another show called Blood of Zeus. Have you watched that yet?
Blood of Zeus, I watched one episode, and it looks really good, and the animation is better in that. But those are the same guys that are from the Castlevania team, Eric, not this particular studio. And
Mm.
you can tell because Blood of Zeus, the animation's on point. Um, I watched another. What was that, Bernie? What was that other series that we watched that was Zack Snyder's something of the gods or something? And the animation wasn't great on that, but it was a pretty decent story too. And I wanted to do a review, but I'll have to do a review next week to gather my thoughts on that. But I can't remember. But Pantheon's really great. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think if you have Netflix, I think it's a must-watch animated
Yeah, I
series.
need to like binge Netflix because it's getting way too expensive to pay for it now.
Yeah,
$24 a month.
yeah. I'm keeping it because it's got all the wrestling, and I like wrestling starting in January. But I agree with you, Eric. It's becoming
Yeah,
almost
I'm gonna
untenable.
like seriously hunker down on watching all the stuff I wanted to watch on there, and then um, get through uh, seasons 1 and 2 of Beastars before Beastars season 3 hits.
Yeah, I gotta watch that
Just the,
too. But
this is
uh,
the final season of that show.
add Pantheon to that list, Eric, because Pantheon is, in my opinion, a pretty really good first season of a show. Like it's heady. It's got good writing. It's I don't know. To me, it's just really good and really well put together. A very good show. It kind of remind me, right? Not in its um, writing so much as its tone of a 24. If you guys remember the first season of 24, kind of had that urgency about it because of the
Mhm.
time. This has urgency based on the stakes. You know what I mean? And I
Okay.
liked it a lot. So I would highly recommend watching Pantheon. But I got another review. This is a long-awaited review. I finally finished Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I want to take a moment to appreciate this game for what it is. Twilight of the Gods was the name of that other series that I was
Mm.
thinking of, and that's a worthwhile watch too. But I'll have a review for that next week. I really want to go in depth on this Zelda without spoilers break, so you don't have to put down the headphones for anything. Um, if you played Breath of the Wild, you're gonna get a lot of the same aesthetic as Tears of the Kingdom. Um, uh, right, Breakman, son of a bitch. Did you
Not
get?
yet,
I
Scotoma.
watched the first episode, Scotoma, and then my Max subscription just decided to kill out on me. Even though I thought I had a few more days, but whatever. Um, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The aesthetics are the same. Some of the mechanics have changed in surprisingly great ways. Um, it is everything you think it's going to be and more. It is a joy to play. It's colorful. It's meaningful. It has an intriguing, if obtuse story. Um, it's got plenty of things for you to do, and even the repetitive things like finding Korok's seeds um, are fun to do. I'm not gonna sit there and get all 900 Korok seeds because fuck that. But I did take the time to do almost everything else in that game. I've got all the memories. I got most of the side. I'd say probably 90% of the side quest. Same thing with the side adventures. Um, I did so much in that game. I got every penny that I paid for that game and much more. And the ultimate compliment that I can give a game, it is very close to being my all-time favorite game. Not quite. That honor still goes to Dragon Quest VIII because of some certain factors like charm and other things. But it is a spectacular experience in almost every way, and everyone can enjoy and play this game. And this is exactly why Nintendo is Nintendo. And I believe this is probably either the second or third perfect 10 that I'm going to give to a video game. It is a close to perfect experience in every single way that you can possibly imagine. It's super polished. It does have glitches here and there. No game is complete without a few glitches here and there. But as far as a completely, almost completely polished game, and the scale of this game and what they did with this game to make it even bigger than Breath of the Wild is an absolute triumph and should be celebrated for decades to come. It is a can't miss experience. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gets my perfect 10. And I don't say that about very many games, but it is a perfect
Like,
10 game.
I remember my score getting in a perfect 10, but like two things I wish it had done that it didn't do that it could have learned from the first game was giving you better ways to earn cash, which it does, but it doesn't do it in a way that's easy, and it doesn't do it in a way that's efficient either. But which what is what I wanted. But the other thing I think it kind of failed at was the fact that that the inventory management is ridiculous, even more so than the first game.
Yeah, that's a minor criticism, Eric, though. I mean,
And it's actually kind of worse in Tears in Echoes of Wisdom because you've got all those echoes you got to pull out.
yeah, I think
But I mean, they kind of make it better, but they also kind of don't let you sort it, so that's kind of annoying.
and I played
But
this game exactly the wrong way, Eric. I hardly ever used vehicles in the game at all. Um, I explored the entire underworld by just sheer using bright bloom seeds and just lighten up the area myself. Like I didn't rely on anything in particular. I would just find a one of those big bulbs and go to it. Freak 5, welcome. Nice to have you here.
there's one other thing, but now I forgot it.
There was
Oh,
one
well.
thing that I was going to criticize it for that I forgot, but all these criticisms of this game is so fucking minor. It's
Also,
like,
there is a way to repair your weapons now, but it's so ridiculous. You have to take it to a specific Octoroks and specifically the easiest spot you can find them is in Goron or the Death Mountain, and you have to let it throw your weapon down, let it suck it up, and then it'll spit it out, and it'll be repaired as long as it's not a special, unique weapon.
Yeah, that's the only criticism I think I got really, Eric, is the weapon system of your weapons breaking kind of sucks. But other than that,
Yeah, the weapons are plentiful and you could restock them, but I think making it even easier to repair them, other than that weird convoluted method, would have been nice.
yeah, like maybe having a shop for 5 rupees you could repair any of your weapons would be, regardless of what you fuse them with. I think that would have made it a lot better. But that's such a minor, such a minor.
Or make it expensive, but again, that could be addressed with just making it easier to get money in overall.
Yeah. How dare you, Breakman, you son of a bitch. How dare you, Freak 5. No, it's not because I couldn't figure it out. It's because I wanted to experience the entire world, to explore it. That's why. I didn't use any vehicles at all throughout most of the whole game. I think, but it's such a good game. It's a perfect 10.
What did you think of the finale, without spoiling anything?
I thought the finale was pretty spectacular, Eric, to be honest with you. I'm not going to spoil anything, because why should I? I thought it was a perfect ending, to be honest. And I hope the next game in the Zelda series can live up to Tears of the Kingdom, because it's got a high mountain to climb. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time just fucking gliding around, going into the sky towers and just flying different places, doing different things, and it's spectacular in every which way. I can't say enough about this game. I think it is one of the greatest video game achievements that I think anybody's going to achieve for at least the next 10 to 20 years. It's that fucking good. It's great. And Scotima's exiled, son of a bitch. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment. If I can hit the clip here.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
Okay. I got a ton, of course. Let's see here. The Don't Say Gable is coming to Ohio. Isn't that fucking wonderful?
I bet you're happy with that, Break.
Yeah, great. A kid who has 2 dads can't talk about having 2 dads in school because that's offensive to some people.
It's ridiculous. Yep.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I think we should deport Merrick Garland just because.
Yeah, I would. I'm down for that too.
The moronic Democrats who are urging people to pardon Trump, are urging Biden to pardon Trump.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm totally against that.
They can go fuck themselves. Our healthcare system is so broken that the American people are happily celebrating an assassin.
Yes.
That's how bad it is in this country right now.
Hold on to that thought, because I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Break.
Okay. All right, moving on then. This one really pisses me off. Even though lately it has been Democrats switching parties, but Republicans have done it in the past too. But it's politicians who change their parties after getting elected.
Yeah, no, you save that shit until your next re-election.
Yeah, you were elected by people to do one thing. You've basically betrayed the people who voted for you. Mm-hmm. How can you be a representative of anyone when you've said one thing and then you're going to do the complete opposite?
Well, I can tell you why, Breakman, because there's only one party in this country. That's why.
Okay. Let me see here. Where else is Republican voter cruelty, and I'm referring to the Republicans who are gung-ho about deporting natural-born citizens.
Yep. So
that's sickening to me.
I talked about this, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks back, Break, maybe a month ago. The first thing that they want to do is get rid of all the illegals, right? Which I think is absurd, because there's a huge economic downfall if that happens.
No. Let's clear this up a little bit. They want to get rid of the illegals crossing the border. They don't want to get rid of the illegals who are overstaying their visas, and people like Elon Musk.
Very good point. Very good point, Breakman. But let me finish my thought here. So they're going to start right with that, right? The Mexicans. Let's just call it for what it is. They want to get rid of illegal Mexicans here, right? I think that narrows it down quite to the point, right? Break. And then after that, they want to take care of legacy immigrants after that. So, no, actually, they want to take care of the illegals first, and then Stephen Miller wants to get rid of people like my dad who have citizenship here, and then they want to get rid of legacy children of said parents that got their citizenship. So a person like myself who's never spent.
Instead of saying it's never going to happen and it messes with cheap slave labor, and I hope to God it never happens. But I'm saying that there are people that
if it does, they'll quickly realize it was a mistake and not do it anymore.
Yes, Scodem, I agree with you. But see, there's precedent for this. It happened before. If you remember nobody remembers in the 70s but me. They did this in the 70s. There was a mass deportation.
You mean the 1870s?
How dare you? Fuck you, Eric. You're exiled, you son of a bitch. But they did this in the 70s. They did a mass deportation of illegals crossing the border, and it did affect the economy quite a bit. And so they relaxed on it. But see, that's the thing. Both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, have to have boogeymen. And it always comes to the Mexicans when it comes to an election. You watch 4 years from now, mark my words, even after the devastation that Trump is going to cause with the illegals. I hate to use that term because I don't think any human being is illegal. You're going to see mass hysteria and people being, told that these people aren't the best people, and they're, somehow they're back, they're coming back in droves, and even the Democrats will participate in this. All right, which I've said this before. Scodem has said it in chat. Even Freak 5. These are things that we across the political spectrum can agree on. There always is a boogeyman. And that boogeyman is always the Mexicans. It's always the Mexicans. Every election cycle, the Republicans will say this, and then the Democrats will say, well, we're willing to work with you on this, the border issue. It's a crisis, right? You hear it's a crisis. How is it a crisis? I don't understand. This country is big enough for everybody. If one city in China can fit 1 billion people, I'm pretty sure the entirety of this vast nation, we can fit the entire population of the earth into the United States. Okay, I've seen the vastness of this country during road trips. Right, there is plenty of room in this country for everybody. So this mass hysteria about Trump saying that everybody that comes over is a rapist and a murderer, and they're not sending their best, and the Democrats going along with it, saying we're going to work. How about working on making it easier for people to become citizens, so that way we can hold you accountable? Let's give you a Social Security number so we can keep track of your money and taxes, which, by the way, illegal immigration actually saves the United States tons in companies tons of money because they don't.
Scodem called it slave labor.
Yeah, slave labor. You say they don't pay taxes, but they certainly get money taken out of their check for it and never receive any benefits from it, unless the companies are doing something illegal like paying people under the table. Maybe we should look at that. That might be more of the problem than the people that are working their asses off for pennies on the dollar, right?
I think the number of actual border hopping is lower than people think it is, because as a lot of it stopped within Mexican borders before they even crossed the border.
And by the way, the actual rate of crime with, quote, illegal people is way less than actual citizenship per capita. And
they're here because they're undocumented, and maybe some of them did hop the border. Then, well, maybe you should get settled instead of just sending them back.
Yeah. Break is exiled, by the way, son of a bitch. And then Scotoma says we have a vetting system for assimilation, 100%. And he also says they do pay taxes at the beginning of the year. I know many illegal Hispanics that still, you can just say Mexicans, Scotoma, it's okay, that still have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Here's a quote that I learned a long time ago that people should remember. It's like, just because something is illegal doesn't mean it's immoral.
Right. And it's not immoral to escape a country like Mexico, who is run by the fucking cartels. I don't care what the Mexican government will tell you.
And just because it's legal doesn't make it moral, and we're going to see a lot of that.
Right.
Okay,
So
we already do.
So I don't understand the hate for Mexicans. I used to, when I was growing up, you know, the scrutiny I was under, people used to say Mexicans were lazy, you know. They're not just from Mexico. I understand, Scotoma, but the vast majority.
He's talking about the illegal part.
the vast majority are from Mexico. It's all good. But that's just it. Like to me, when I was growing up, the big thing was Mexicans are lazy. And I'm thinking to myself, nothing could be further from the truth. My dad worked in construction, one of the most hard fields of work that there is in this country for decades. So, and you know, everybody that I knew that was illegal was working in construction or in a foundry or, you know, roofing or framing or any number of jobs that most people just don't care to do unless they're getting paid a shit ton of money.
When they also say that people are taking their jobs, like they can't be both lazy and taking their jobs.
Yeah, so which is it? Are they lazy or...
You know who the lazy bums who are taking my jobs are? CEOs who are overpaid.
Oh, we're going to get to that, Eric. Breakman,
they don't do anything.
Any more Stinkos, Break?
They took their jobs!
I know. They took your jobs!
They took your job!
Yeah, you mean the job that you didn't want to take? Yeah, okay.
They took your job!
Took your job!
Like, the bigger your company is, the more likely that's true. With the smaller companies, the less likely that's true.
Yeah.
But there's still way too many of them.
Yeah, I know.
Next, and also to add to that, like you say, like Democrats adding on to like votes and stuff, like just like the trans issue, like there are Democrats who signed on for that too, like to against like puberty blockers and such like that. Like they say it's about choice while taking away parental choice or whatever. But,
like I said, Break, it's one party. It's not Democrats and Republicans. It's the greed.
Or it is two parties. It's Republicans pretending to be Democrats, and then there's the MAGA party.
No, it's one party, Eric. It's the greed party. They're all greedy as fuck.
Yeah, they're all motivated by money.
And well, let's move on to sticking with the government and one of the more extreme elements of the government. Nancy Mace got a trans man arrested by accusing him of assault, and what in reality he did was shook her hand.
Yeah, she should be put in jail for that. But
yeah,
she's got immunity.
He went to jail for it. She should too. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they both took each other's hands.
No, I think she should go to jail for making a false.
That's a good goddamn point. Like if he assaulted her, then she assaulted him too.
Yeah. I mean, I really wished I could talk about something, but I can't.
It was consensual shaking of hands.
Yeah, I wish I could talk about something, but I really can't. But it's along those lines.
Take it back after you've done it.
Yeah, 100%. Remember this conversation in about probably a year's time, guys. I'll be able to talk about something. So, what else you got, Break?
Yeah, I've got actually a few more here, several more really. Trump, people told me we're getting Trump because, you know, we don't want war and stuff like that. Well, Trump's threatening war with Iran, so Iran.
Yeah. He's also
I like to address the times that Frank said, like, Trump was a no-war president. No, he was perpetuating wars. He didn't add to the number of wars because he was busy keeping the ones that were already there going.
No, Eric, no, that's not entirely true either.
He did end a lot of like the drone strikes, but he was for the first year doing a lot of the drone strikes, but he did eventually cut them out.
Right. Right.
As far as like in Syria and such like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he didn't get us out of. I mean, he negotiated a deal to get us out of Afghanistan after he freed 5,000 terrorists. Anyway, so he's going to try and start a war with Iran again. He assassinated a general last time. The only reason we didn't go to war is because about a week after he assassinated that general, there was the whole. Yeah, I talked about Biden's pardon of Hunter last week. That was definitely a stinko. That's a good one.
Scotoma, yeah, him pardoning people. The pedophile thing is speculation, Scotoma, but his pardons were atrocious for the most part.
Speaking of pedophiles, Jay-Z has finally been named. As I mentioned earlier, he was going to get named.
I swear to God, if you watch the NFL, I'm gonna.
Beyonce is going to be. She's mad. The NFL's endorsing Jay-Z apparently.
The NFL.
Yeah.
So she's really pissed about that. So yeah, Beyonce is going to get named at some point. Like
I don't think so. You know why I don't think that?
Break throwing hands.
Break. You know why I don't think Beyonce is going to be named? Because they quickly Jay-Z and Beyonce decided to make a business decision and divorce, and the vast majority of the money is going into her coffers. So I think this is, they knew.
Did this happen today?
No, this has happened within the last week or so, though. I heard this. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure they're getting a divorce and she's ending up with the lion's share of the money amicably. So this is all because they knew that Jay-Z was gonna be the one. So,
Okay, so I can see them like covering for it. But if there's a federal trial, like the names are gonna come out. They can't hide it.
Oh, you mean like the names that Giselle Maxwell has in her black book that they won't release for some weird reason? Thank you, Mary Garland, piece of shit. Yeah.
What did I say earlier? Let's deport his ass, I believe. I don't care where, just far away, I think.
Yeah.
Russia wants a member of this. They're always recruiting Americans. He can go live there. He'd be happy there, right? I think.
Yeah, maybe.
He likes to do nothing. I don't know if they do nothing in Russia. I'm sorry, Russia. I shouldn't say you do nothing.
All right. You just put the entirety of the Russian population into that category.
Brakeman's got to have KGB knocking at his door tomorrow.
I know, right?
Break who? What happened?
I'm beginning to think you're right, Scotoma, by the way, on the major sports. But
yeah, oh my God, NFL is fucking definitely rigged by refs. Like the college basketball used to have the worst officiating, and they still have terrible officiating. It's really just because they don't pay their officials anything. But now the NFL has the blatantly most obvious corrupt officials I've ever seen.
Yeah, no doubt.
This year has been so blatant in their attempts to make sure like that's a team with a struggling quarterback wins almost every game,
Mm-hmm.
And then they make sure that smaller market teams also get the calls go against them. So anyway, yeah, Jay-Z's finally announced, his name's finally been called, and he's going after everybody, obviously. Like, I didn't do that, that's bullshit, whatever. Dude, we know. There have been accusations many times against you, but now it's just, the accusations are far worse.
Just like, Disney's agreeing with him too, is on his side too.
Yeah, well, fuck Disney too.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about these large corporations. They just want to protect rapists because...
Well,
I think a lot of them, employ racists.
It's not so much. I don't think that it's so much they want to protect rapists, Brakeman. They just want to protect billionaires at all cost.
Yeah, and a lot of billionaires are rapists. Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. His billionaire friends. Anyway, so moving on. This one I thought was funny. There's a Republican woman complaining about the lack of diversity in the appointment committees. I think that's really funny.
Yeah, well,
because no women are leading any of these things, and then she's complaining about woke stuff at the same time she's complaining about this. I'm like, this isn't DEI. This is about the most talented person. Well, that's what the. Never mind. Yeah. You obviously missed the point, lady. So, you're getting what you deserve.
What else you got, Break?
There's a closeted gay man who murdered a out gay man after a hookup. something went wrong, and they have videos of this man getting shovels, wheelbarrows. They knew he went online to search how to hide body, how to strangle him, and such like that. But it was declared a mistrial, even though they've got so much fucking evidence against him.
Well, hopefully they'll bring it up again. I mean,
I don't know. Like, I think he'll just get away with it, like, in just another gay man murdered, and like, but by another gay man this time, which is just fucking weird. Just the closet does horrible things to people. It turns them into horrible people.
Anything else, Break?
I thought I had one more, and it was, oh no, it was just a quote from this lady. Let me see, who is this? Republican Anne, what? No, I'm sorry, that's not her. Nicole Malotakis. We've never been the party that was about checking boxes or identity politics, but the difference is we have women that are qualified to be in chairs, and I don't know why there wasn't one who was able to become a chairperson of a committee. It's amazing how she can still take swipes at the Democrats for doing exactly what she's saying she wants.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like, oh no, those women been there. They didn't get it because they're talented. They got it because they're women. But we should have a woman in here, and I'm talented. It's not
well
fair.
Projection, man. It happens all the time.
Like, it's just the word salad. I admire this whole paragraph. It's just the most ironic thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, saying both things at once.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Break?
No, that's it. I think that's
all right, Eric. Your turn.
My Stinko is going to...
actually, I do have one more.
Oh, go ahead, Break.
Sorry. Let Eric finish his, though, because I interrupted.
My Stinko is going to the bonehead judge who decided to reject the bid for InfoWars by The Onion.
Why did he reject it? What was the reasoning?
It sounded pretty flimsy, but he said that their information that they submitted was incorrect in some way. And then Jones was commenting on how it was like, or Jones's attorney, I don't know who was saying, because there was a lot of stuff I was reading, but like basically like they said that they lowballed the estimate for how much they wanted to pay for it.
So what? It's up for. That's the very definition of getting your shit liquidated. It's selling it for the.
It's an auction.
Yeah, it's
like that's what happens in auction.
So what? Did Jones pay the judge to just reject it? Is that what happened?
No, he probably was a conservative judge that loved InfoWars and didn't want InfoWars in the hands of The Onion. That's what it is.
They're not giving up, so who knows how this will actually shake out at the end. But
Scotoma says, "Guess who got a broken hip? Who knows?"
The judge could go fuck himself. So.
Okay, so my other one goes, hey, you remember the whole opioid trial and things? How many of the Sackler family went to jail, Frank?
None, by my count.
Oh, none. Okay. Well, the McKinsey and Company, who was heavily involved in that scandal, they worked. Let me see, what was some of the things that they did? Personally deleted various Purdue-related electronic materials from McKinsey laptop with the intent of obstructing future investigations, destroying company records, and there's some other things like I can't find. But they have to sign a $600-something million fine, and not one of them gets to go to jail or has to admit any liability.
What a shocker!
A 600. So they just get a fine. This billion-dollar company who's going to make that money back easily within the next year.
Well, let me ask you this question, Breakman. Sort of related. How many predatory lenders, CEOs, went to jail?
Oh my God. Geez, 1 times 0.
Yeah, you're right. So there you go. I mean, if you're rich and you have money, you don't go to jail in this country. If you're poor.
Unless you
gotta
do something really stupid, like the one guy who admitted the murder.
Oh well, maybe, but for the most part, no. Break. I mean, I remember Trump getting accused, tried, and convicted of sexual assault, and he never got 1 day in jail. So
Well, that was a civil trial, so there was never going to be a jail sentence for it. But he was convicted of fraud, and he's still they haven't sentenced him yet. Still,
well,
with that
because that's fraud. That's a white collar crime, man. And he's got money, so you know, I don't know.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I
right,
just how many people died because of this crisis, and what do they get is the fine. The company gets fined. The people who did it don't even have to admit guilt.
yeah,
They
well,
don't even have to apologize to the lives they ruined. I had a friend who died of an overdose.
yeah, well,
I don't think I talked about that, but I did.
yeah, I know, Breakman. It's I don't know what to say, man.
I
This.
had to go talk to his mom at the funeral, and like, how fucking devastating is that? Seeing those results, seeing what that does to people.
Yeah. You know what
I'm getting,
Scotama, you know what I say to Nancy Pelosi breaking a hip? I don't give a fuck. She's got the best health insurance in the world. So, speaking of,
but I think he's saying that as a sweeto. But we haven't gotten the sweetos yet, Scotama, but
speaking
say it.
of, speaking of insurance and things of that nature, you had mentioned companies break or the people like celebrating the CEO's death and I talked a little bit about that. I didn't exactly celebrate it, but in my view, I'm indifferent to it, and I think more and more people are getting that way because of the way they're treated by the healthcare industry. As a matter of fact, the CEO, I believe, of Blue Cross, I want to say, basically admitted as much and said that uh, they basically said that he said that there is a problem in the health insurance industry. Geez, you
Mm.
think, CEO? You don't think you could have said that maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago? That might have prevented the death. Maybe that could have been the conversation starter that changed the way that we do health insurance in this country. Every person in this country deserves to be able to not be bankrupt by fucking medical bills. Why? Because health care should be a human right. It should
It's
be a
sad
human
that
right.
so many other countries across the world, their healthcare is absolutely free.
Well, not exactly free, but you're not going to go bankrupt from it. I
Well, I
chronicled.
mean, what I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. You can go into a hospital and get health care without having to
Right,
prove that you have insurance.
right,
Is what I mean.
right. And no hospital here can reject you just because you don't have insurance, but there's nothing to say that they can't send you to collections like they've done to many Americans. And many Americans have been bankrupted because of fucking healthcare bills, right? I mean, I got lucky with a couple of my bills. I got a reduced program and I was able to pay, for some medical bills that I had, but I don't have insurance because health insurance in this country is an absolute fucking joke, right? The only people that are benefiting from health insurance in this country are said CEOs, and people
Mhm.
are getting fucking pissed. And by the way, the guy that shot that CEO wasn't a left wing Avenger dude. He was further right than anybody wants to care to admit. So it's not a right and left thing, it's a people thing. And people in general are getting pissed off at the status quo when it comes to healthcare in this country. And it's reaching a boiling point. And I agree with what Skodom is saying. Doctors shouldn't be pill pushers. Right. They're drug dealers. That's 100%, Skodoma.
Mm.
Big Pharma and doctors are
Like,
in league because they get kickbacks. 100%.
I'm not taking lots of meds. Like, I know lots of people that have tons of meds. I don't take any meds.
Right,
And
but
I
I'm...
think I think part of the reason of that is because they get recommended them
Eric,
and they take them without
right.
thinking about whether or not they need it or not.
Eric, there's definite need for opioids in this country, right? If you break an arm, the pain is so severe that maybe you do need something to dull that pain. Bernie just broke her fucking shoulder, and
And that's my point, Scotamo, of the whole murdering of the CEOs. Like, nothing's accomplished of it.
Yeah,
No.
he'll get replaced with
Other guys
another
that come in and
asshole.
do it.
No, I do
continue
think
to gouge customers.
I disagree with that take, Break. I agree with you and Scotoma as far as like he's just going to be replaced with somebody greedy or greedier. But here's my point in the whole matter. All right, at least the conversations have ignited in this country, right? It takes something. It takes something to ignite these conversations. It's unfortunate it had to be this way, but now
But
we're
will anything happen of it? I mean, look. We've talked many times about how the next school shooting will ignite something and something like
well.
like
I-
this has got to be it. Like this is the point where we outlaw some type of gun.
Okay,
No,
let,
guns
let,
just gotta
let,
be
let me put it this way, Breakman. Do I think that this is a better thing to happen than a school shooting? 100%. And if it takes 100 of these CEOs for us to finally take some action, either our politicians or we get rid of those politicians and another party is created or whatever the case is, then so be it. I'm not gonna sit here and cry over
Well, just look at the manhunt for the guy. Like
Yes.
one rich man was killed, and the manhunt for him was
Right.
insane.
That's another problem, Breakman.
Like,
Do you think
there are people that are murdered every day in this country, and the cops won't lift the finger
I
sometimes?
agree with you. That's another part of the problem, and that's a great point, Breakman. That CEO was making $10 million. You know how much his worker in a call center makes? Depending on where they work, because there's different call centers,
Probably a
they make
single
minimum
percent of
wage wherever that is, and in some places that's $7.25. Because that's the bare minimum the federal government will allow. If these CEOs had their way, they would just outsource everything to people in India making $1 or $2 an hour. You see what I'm saying? So and a lot of them do. How many times have you called a call center and it's from India or Mexico or somewhere that you're not comfortable with, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. So if it takes 100 CEOs to be, I don't know, offed, I am not going to cry at some rich dude who's making 10 million plus. In some cases,
I'm the only one who's upset. Like
I know.
I get it. Like people,
Nobody
Break.
wants civil war.
it was the
but
simplest killing. It's
we
just-
might have to have it.
Well, look, here's what I'm saying. I'm not calling for violence, Breakman. Don't get me wrong. I'm a pacifist. But I'm not going to shed a tear for somebody that wallows in everybody else's misery while they deny health care after health care after. I have a really good friend that has some kidney problems, and she was just sent a letter, Breakman, that said we're getting rid of your hospital that you're comfortable with. It didn't say that in the letter, but you know what I mean. And so just letting you know, you might want to contact your insurance company to maybe tell them that you want to keep on here, and hopefully that works. Do you think it worked? It didn't work.
My healthcare is run by my employer, and it's United.
yeah,
The same
that one girl you know,
company that
they
the
ever
CEO
saw
is from.
her?
and it only covers
rich girl?
it covers dental, but it covers only 2 visits a year. Like
Yeah.
why not 3? If it
Well,
has to be 3, you should-
it might cover, Eric. I mean, there's no guarantee that anything is covered, even with their quote unquote coverage. That's the problem people are having, and why people were so seemingly gleeful at this assassination. That's the reason, because they understand that these fucking greedy ass goddamn health insurance companies are taking advantage of the American people over and over. Obamacare is a joke, not because it just came from the Obama era. It's just a fucking joke that not every single American is covered underneath it. That's what the travesty is. So that and by the way, a Medicare for all system is much cheaper than anything else. What's up, Bernie? You all right?
I will be.
So that's my take on the whole thing. That's my stinko. The absurd amount of money that CEOs make in general. Anytime your CEO is making 100,000 times what the average worker is making at your company, that's a huge problem. Look at the CEO of EA Sports. What's his name? Bobby Kotick, I believe is his name, guys. I could be wrong.
That was Activision.
Oh, Activision. I'm sorry, Activision. He makes, I believe the number was $45 million a year. Meanwhile, he's cutting people that are making, pennies on the fucking dollar for the games that they create so he could make $45 million a year. So tell me anybody is worth, and we always talk about athletes, how nobody is worth that amount of money, right? There's baseball players. A guy just signed I think it was a 15-year deal for $750 million, which made his annual pay like over, I think it was like 70 million or some ridiculous stupid amount, 50 million, 60 million, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, come on. Also, the scam on how they are forcing people to get health care or they get fined on their taxes. That's another one, Scotoma. That's another one. How fucked up is that? You don't get health care, and we're going to penalize you because you can't afford health care. I mean,
that's basically just robbery at that
point. It is robbery. The American government is robbing all of us. All of us. And now Trump's talking about 25% tariffs? Well, are you fucking joking? So not only do you want to cut taxes for the rich and make us suffer through a free market system, but now you want to charge us 25% on goods that we buy every day?
Well, he's charging the providers 25%, but they're going to pass on those costs.
What do you think? That's what I was going to say. What do you think they're going to eat that cost, Eric?
No.
There's several
Come
CEOs
on.
who already said they're going to raise prices, including Walmart's CEO.
Right. So, come on. I mean, it's all a fucking part of the problem. Trump is not the problem. Trump is a symptom of the problem, right? He's a symptom, guys. We focus on Trump all the time, and he is. He's awful. He's everything that we say he is. He's a piece of shit. His family's a piece of shit. His wife's a piece of shit. His kids are a piece of shit. They're all pieces of shit.
And as bad as he is, I think Vance is worse.
Well, 100%. I mean, they're worse. They're all worse. They're all bad. They're all horrible. We can say these things. I say it about the Democrats, too. Nancy Pelosi's a piece of shit. I remember watching a segment on morning television where she was in her kitchen showing her refrigerator full of fucking ice cream. She has
a piece of shit.
She has
Obama was a piece of shit. Lots of my used to be liberal friends.
Right. So
don't want to hear that.
So
they've ended friendships with me because of it.
I don't care.
I talked to them behind their backs, telling them how other people how shit they were to me, and that's why they blocked me out from Twitter.
Yeah. Well,
fuck you, anyways, for getting me to that point.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm so sick of the whole system and all these Democrats that think they can make hope and change. How many times have we heard the theme for running hope and change? Vote for hope and change, everybody. Let's hope that they fucking give us pennies, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the image of the Democrats is they're weak, and that is because they don't stand up and fight.
No,
that is weak,
and that's. Look, that's by design,
they're not
Brakeman.
even weak. They're unwilling.
I'm right, but I'm saying that's how it looks to the American people when they're not
right.
When, for instance, I talked about I forget her name, the first trans politician elected.
McBride.
She said,
like
I'm just gonna follow the rules and like try doing the basic speech and we're gonna get along and we're just gonna work together and such like that, instead of like standing up and saying, hey, that's fucking wrong.
Right. Okay.
Like, that's not why people voted. People voted for her.
Right.
To
make change.
For reasons, to be a representative.
Right. Well, like I said, Brakeman, I mean, it didn't take her long to change her tune, right? So that's all of them. That's every fucking one of them. They all are fucking worthless.
Ray's laughing at my.
Yes.
What are you laughing at?
So Trump did drain the swamp. He just replaced all the swamp water with shit, piss, and wank.
Yeah, Scotoma says it right. You know how to tell when a politician is lying? Their lips are moving. I couldn't agree more. Fuck every single last one of them, whether they're Democrats, Republican, Green Party, Independent.
See, here's where the system broke. When career politicians happened.
Yeah. If there was
our forefathers never intended for there ever to be a career politician.
Yeah, it should be one or two terms and you're out with everything. Supreme Court justices.
They all had jobs. jobs
Yeah.
while they were doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they didn't intend you to make money working for the government.
Well,
That
like
was
I
never
said,
the intention.
you know how to change things in Washington, Breakman? Tie the minimum wage to their wage. Tie the minimum wage to their wage.
Yeah, good luck with that passing.
No. I know it's never going to happen, but tie minimum wage to what a
Oh, they aren't
politician
talking
gets
about,
paid.
oh no, I'm sorry. It's the Ohio Republicans are talking about raising their wages currently. Even though they've gotten that huge huge cut off their donors and First Energy and
Yeah.
$1 billion scandal. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You
I
gotta
mean,
get more money.
who cares at this point, right? It's all going to fucking shit anyways. Who gives a fuck?
That's a good
And
point.
that's why I don't give a fuck if I see somebody stealing from a store or I hear a
We
store.
need to go Dark Knight Rises and just overthrow everything.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like to me, I don't have sympathy for a company that loses money for this and that and the other because their CEOs are ripping the American people off anyways. The free market system is a fucking joke in this country. It's a joke. Capitalism's a joke. It's gonna fail, and this country's gonna fucking die at some point. I don't know when that is. I hope not in my kids'
Free
lifetime.
market anyway. We have government interference in the free market. all
Oh,
the fucking
100%. I mean, look at what happened to Ford when Ford got bailed out. All those fucking companies got bailed out. You know, and that's I mean, free market, right? I mean, they should have to suffer the same consequences that a small business does that can't keep up with the rate of inflation.
Oh, you mean like the small business farms that went under when Trump subsidized the corporate farms?
Oh yeah.
Because
And yeah.
he put those tariffs on soybeans.
Yeah. Well, and also I'm talking about like there's just all kinds of examples. The banks are another big example.
Oh, yes, good point.
Too
Fucking
big to fail, right? Wells Fargo was in a lot of trouble. Bank of America was in a huge trouble and would have went under if not for corporate or government welfare. It's okay.
And how
See,
many
this
of
is
those CEOs lost money off of that shit?
oh none. But see, that's what
And
I'm
how many
saying.
of them got punished. Or
That,
went to jail?
none. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Breakman.
well,
It's okay for companies to take welfare, but yet we're complaining about the quote unquote welfare queens that may or may not have taken a few extra bucks because they're trying to make a goddamn living in this fucking fucked up economy. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. What are we talking about here? We gotta move on. Let's move on to Sweetos real quick.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet of the week.
Yeah, I agree, Scotoma, but it doesn't work now as it stands. He says it would work if the checks and balances were actually in effect. Yeah,
The checks and balances were killed like 5 years ago.
well, look, if those
apparently they've been dead for a long time.
If those companies,
I was one of the gullible people who thought that they were going to work in Trump's first term.
As soon as SCOTUS got like way more Republicans than it needed,
well,
it was dead.
all I'm saying is it would have worked if the free market system would work if they let it work, right? For big companies too, you know. If Bank of America got shut down because I don't know, they fucking did predatory loans like they did to me and I lost my house.
And they'll talk about like all the employees they're saving and stuff like that. Well, then how about you arrest the CEOs and let new people come in and take over?
Oh, that'll never happen because they make too much money and they do too many donations, which is another issue. No donations from companies should ever go into a politician's pocket, ever. Ever.
And the amount should be capped so nobody can influence them with, say, a billionaire giving $1 million or, like billionaires taking judges on trips yearly.
Yeah. How about no donations from corporations and it's all people based? Actual voters.
Like, cap the amount a person can donate.
Yeah, you cap it at $100. That's it.
Okay.
That's what you can.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair. And then you'll see a change. But until then, we're going down really quick. All right, let's do Sweetos really quickly. Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
I've only got one, and that's to Dick Vitale. He beat cancer. 85-year-old man beating cancer.
I know. That was pretty spectacular, man. I was happy to hear that. Really happy. All right, anything else, Break?
Oh, that's it.
Eric, did you have a Sweeto?
No.
This is my Sweeto.
Oh wait, I did. It just isn't real for me yet because I haven't seen the check. It's supposed to be coming in the mail, or probably sometime before my paycheck because I think they actually are sending it to me. But I got a Christmas bonus this year.
Pretty awesome.
First time this has ever happened in 21 years I've been working for this company.
Wow, that's really
It
good.
proves how much they've grown in the last 2 years.
Well, I mean, that's really cool, Eric. I'm
But
happy for
it's
you.
$500 for everybody who's been there for over 6 months.
Wow, nice.
Very nice. Very good. All right. Hey, Keeper. Keeper's in the YouTube chat, man. I see you there. Here's my sweeto. Now that is from one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And this, hold on. All right, so obviously that's the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. But these are ornaments that Breakman so graciously
I
gifted
need a
me
little
for
mini tree to
Christmas.
put these on.
And these are just fucking fantastic, Breakman. I think this is one of the coolest, most unique gifts I've ever gotten. Sure, they're ornaments, which most of the time are super corny, but look, we're nerds here, and this couldn't be nerdier. This is one of the coolest fucking gifts ever. So I appreciate you, Breakman, for giving me these
Now
awesome
somebody
gifts.
needs to make an X-Men cabinet ornament that has "Welcome to Die" as the voice clip.
Right. I thought this was really cool, man. You know, and I didn't even know that they did that. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "There's batteries. What the? Oh, you put the batteries in here?" And I was messing with, and I was like, it was like a kid on Christmas. You know, it was very very cool.
Nice.
Very very cool, man. This is one of the most unique, coolest gifts I think I've received in I don't know 100 years or so. So very very cool, man. Very cool. Got a pic or a link for that? It's
I'm gonna go to the Hallmark store and I'll get you. I'll take care of them.
It's a Hallmark regular Nintendo. You can look it up online. Just go to a Hallmark Nintendo ornament, and you could see the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo one. I'm sure they got many more.
And you weren't here when I mentioned it, but I got ornaments, and mine were the Apple IIe version of the Oregon Trail and the Sega Genesis Model 1.
That's pretty badass, man. I mean, all around, just great gifts, man. Let me see what Keeper's saying over, and he likes to be lonely by himself in the other chat, but he says Bernie has made it, I guess. Nerds. Keeper says as well. Thanks for joining, Keeper. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Eric didn't have one. Break, you already did your sweeto, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to Panic Zone.
You've reached the Panic Zone.
YouTube's gonna get mad at me for playing that clip. They always do. I always get flagged for them. It's so stupid. All right, it's Panic Zone, and up in the Panic Zone. Oh, I'm sorry, is it Driver's Seat or Panic Zone that we're doing this week?
Panic Zone.
Yeah, Panic Zone. That's what I thought. All right, Eric, you are up this week. What you got for us?
So I'm doing another movie scenario, but it's Christmas themed, and we're gonna do it based off the Santa Claus. You accidentally kill Santa, and you become Santa. But once you take over the role, you have a few ideas of how to improve the efficacy of your toy delivery system and operation. So what would some of your ideas be?
What is it again, Eric? Just explain it to me one more time. Sorry.
Like on Santa Claus, they died and they took the claws and became Santa.
Oh, okay.
Finally, my plan has come to fruition.
So what would you do after to make your job easier?
Breakman, you go first, dude.
What would
He
you
already
do
has the
now that you're
slave
Santa?
labor. It's not hard to train them and start an army. I mean, they're small elves, but they work all the time, and they're good at manufacturing stuff. I think they could make a pretty good arm. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, if you want, I mean, it's your scenario.
Turn Santa's helpers into Nazis.
I mean, that's kind of what almost happened in the second movie.
Well, yeah, I guess it did. Was it Jack Frost was the bad guy, I think?
No, that was the third one.
Oh, that was the third one. Okay.
I didn't watch most of the third one.
Confused. They're so bad they blend together. I like the first one, but after that, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Let me see. What would I do? I don't have to work. I wonder. I need to know how his system works. Like, is he
Yeah, all
work?
those elves union workers.
Yeah, like are the elves working all the damn time? Does he do anything and just work one night a year? What is his wife like? Is she a trad wife? She have her own business? I mean,
I have to wonder, like, where Tim Allen's character, like, he kept getting packages sent to his house. He clearly probably ran out of room at some point, so he need to probably get some storage at some. I wonder where he went to do that.
Storage units, like just rows and rows of storage units just for
you've got
presents.
else to build. Like as long as they're not, as long as it's not going past like union
Which is
hours.
weird because, like, he has a bag of infinite holding. Maybe he just shoved him in
Ah,
that.
yeah, that's true too. He does have a bag of infinite holding. I always thought that Santa Claus was a D&D character just for that reason, Eric. So very good. All right.
Let me see. I would probably I would update his image, I think. No, that's dumb. Never mind. I wouldn't do that. I don't know. I need to think more about this one.
Yeah. You know what I would
I need to know his operation, how he does it. Like, you know what I mean?
Eric, my quick answer is I would fucking quit immediately.
Find someone else.
Yeah. I would just say like fuck, take this job and shove it. You know what I mean? Like that's how I would
I shouldn't have to take it just because you died. Can I at least find someone else?
Right. I mean, that's the easy answer to the whole thing. I mean, the long answer is like I like the idea of storage units, man. like and just put everything in the holding bag and just let it rip, man. Get on that fucking sleigh and just fucking just do what he does. I think I would be.
What I do is I find a way to make a teleportation system that just transports it to the kid's house, so you don't even have to go.
No, you know what I would do. You know what I would do. I would turn Santa Claus into a Robin Hood kind of dude, and I would go to all these CEOs' bank accounts, and I would take every penny that they had out of their bank accounts, and then put it in everybody else's bank accounts.
I have
Become
an
a super hacker.
Yeah.
I would add an extra day of work, but it wouldn't be just one day, it'd be all year round, because what I would do is we'd give another present to the good kids on their birthdays.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Breakman. That's very, very judicious.
They're good kids. They shouldn't just be rewarded on Christmas. If you're, there's a lot of like unfortunate kids who don't get anything for their birthdays. It'd be nice for them to get something for their birthday,
Yeah, I agree, man. I like I said, and I would just raid every CEO's account to pay for it. So no problem there. I mean, they got plenty of money, being they get paid $10 million. Can you imagine your check every month, Breakman, like $750,000, $750,000,
On their birthdays, they get like a box of coal.
Yeah.
And then he can get another box of coal.
Keeper says you reached the panties zone in the YouTube chats, and then he came on over to the Twitch chat and says, "No fart emoji." I'm like, no. Is Bernie dying? No, Keeper. Bernie's not dying. Bernie's right here. You want to say hi to Keeper, Bernie?
Hi, Keeper.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you get, Keeper. You son of a bitch. So it just. I like that scenario, Eric, but like I said, my first thought would be just fucking quit, because who's to say that you can't just quit, right? I mean, I always wondered about Santa Claus, like, after like.
I mean, for the sake of the movie, they didn't ever question that, so you just, because I think deep down he did kind of want to be Santa.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would do other things to like kind of elevate the good kids, like to make it more known, like make the presents they get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just them get one gift that they want, maybe get two gifts that they want, or maybe they get one gift they want and then a gift for somebody else they care about.
Or maybe the gifts that they wanted but didn't ask for, they get something like that,
Yeah, or the gifts that they wanted to give others but weren't able to.
Ah, very good. Very good. I like that. By the way, Breakman, I'm looking at the links that you send of all the fucking ornaments and shit, and they got like Grogu and all that shit in there. Grogu. I'm like, Jesus Christ, but some fun ones in there. But I think you picked the best ones out of the bunch, Breakman. I mean, truly just masterful.
I know what happened.
I sent the link in chat. I sent to a friend, another friend, by the way.
Yeah, awesome. What? Oh, the Wienermobile. That's very good.
Yeah.
I like the Star Wars Death Star that is sold out, but $100.
That's only one piece of the ornament too. There's like several other pieces. It does this whole show.
Yeah.
Of like it's got Obi-Wan, Vader, Luke.
I saw it. It's very cool, but very expensive.
Like,
very expensive.
It's really intricate.
Yeah.
We see another really cool one's the Batman one, Batman TV series.
Yeah. But very, very cool, Break. I really appreciate it, honestly, man. It is I mean, these two things are like fucking awesome, man. And then just now, Break, man, I had no idea that the original Nintendo, like the lid pops up. I had no idea it did that until just now.
Oh, the lid on that thing opens?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And inside is Super Mario Brothers, man. It's like fucking insane. It's really fucking cool, man. Like it's literally one of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten in my life. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't have a tree to put it on, but these things are forever gonna be in my eyesight in my room somewhere. You know, so
nice.
Very, very cool. All right, that's all we got time for, gentlemen. I think it's time to go. But do you guys have any?
That's kind of shitty. Apparently, Wicked's a two-parter.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That sucks.
Fuck
that
movie.
Not
gay free? I'm just saying. Like, I'm not really curious about Wicked at all.
I am not very either. I am curious to see how many people go see Terrifier 3 on Christmas Eve. That's what I'm more interested in. And I'm also interested in watching Nosferatu, which I heard was pretty spectacular, too. So,
also, Frankenstein's dropping on Christmas. Who sees a movie on Christmas, though?
What?
Yeah.
Frankenstein's dropping on Christmas?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what Guillermo was thinking, but whatever.
Really? That's really dumb.
He makes sure to point out his wife wanted him to see it.
I figured. Yeah. All right, that's all we got time for. Let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
Sounds like a decent movie, but I think I'll just wait for it to hit streaming.
Hallmark. Unplug them.
Yeah, you got some cool ass shit.
Awesome ornaments. Yeah. Awesome gifts too.
Really awesome gift, man. I think that's a very creative gift, Breakman. You put a lot of thought into it, man. I really appreciate it. Very, very good. Eric.
You could find my written reviews on bostonbashgrade.com or my audio reviews for the feed for the site, which is RPGrinders.podbean.com. You may need to include the HTTP and // but it depends on what your browser is like. But if you like either of those things and you want to support me, there's a link to my Patreon in my Blue Sky profile. That's at EricRPG. And sending me as little as $1 a month or just whatever you want for a one-time donation would help out. Yeah. And stay safe. The roads are getting bad because the weather's getting bad if you're living in snowy areas.
Yeah. I'm going to plug this. And I'm going to plug this. I'm also going to plug Terrifier 3. Go see it on Christmas Eve. I want that movie to make as much money as humanly possible. I think it's awesome. I think it's not for the faint of heart, so definitely don't take your kids. But go see it on Christmas Eve, and go see Nosferatu on the 25th. I want that movie to do well as well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Protest. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. I mean, France did it. Why can't the United States do it in droves? You know, if you don't like the way the healthcare system is run, let's get in the streets.
I think we all need to wake up from our collective delusion first before we can go to action.
Well, all I'm saying is I'd much rather just everybody get out in mass, you know, like in the millions, and get in the streets and complain about healthcare in this country, because healthcare is a human right. All right, that's all I got for today. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
Not really. No.
All right,
Have
stay
a good
safe.
weekend.
Stay safe this weekend and this week. We want to see you back here next week. Till then, we are out. Later, everybody. Hold on. I got something else. I forgot. Today is Friday.
You're breaking the show. Oh my god.
No. We're not prolonging the show. Today's
Right,
Friday the 13th,
forgot.
so you guys get a
Surprise.
special outro. This is your outro this week. All right, that's it for everything. That was the Friday the 13th 8-bit theme, by the way, if anybody didn't know what that was. But Freak says he's been playing Friday the 13th again. Awesome. All right, guys. I wish I could extend the show, but I'm tired. I got shit to do. You know, the whole works. But thank you guys. Thanks everybody in chat. Scotoma, Freak5, and Keeper. Thank you guys so much for being there. We really appreciate you guys interacting in chat. It's awesome. But